All right, thank you for staying with us. The devastating consequences of drug abuse are well documented, ranging from anxiety and depression to addiction and even death. With a staggering 14.3 million Nigerians caught in the grip of drug abuse, according to NDLEA statistics, the agency's work is more crucial than ever. Since its inception in 1989, NDLEA has been at the forefront of holding criminals accountable and educating Nigerians about the dangers of drug abuse. Recent intensified efforts, including high-profile arrests at airports and on the road, suggest a decline in the drug-related cases. Joining us via Zoom is Femi Babafemi, Director of Media at NDLEA, to give us more insight into their efforts. Good morning. It's good to have you join us on the program.
Thank you. Good morning. It's my pleasure.
And we must say well done on the efforts being made so far. We've been seeing reports of arrests and some other matters that has to do with the matters of drug trafficking and drug abuse. But first, talk to us about how reaching these efforts have been in the fight against drug trafficking and abuse in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. I would also like to appreciate TVC for the support always by helping to actually amplify some of these activities, thereby raising the consciousness, the awareness within the populace. We must appreciate that. Now, responding directly to your question, I'll tell you that indeed there are two broad ways that the activities of the agency have actually impacted on this whole effort. One is the drug demand reduction, where we actually carry out a lot of sensitization activities struggling with substance abuse, and then reintegrate them back to their families and the society. That's on the one hand. And on the other hand is the supply reduction leg of the effort, which that's the area where we have the actual law enforcement, the arrest, the investigations, the arrest, the seizures of these illicit substances, the prosecution, and even the tracing and forfeiting or forfeiture of the assets of these elements to the government. That is process of illicit drug transactions. So those are the two broad ways. Now on the first leg, which is the drug demand reduction, I will actually say that indeed on June 26, 2021, the agency launched what we call the War Against Drug Abuse Social Advocacy Initiative. That is to mobilize every citizens, every stakeholders to buy in and take ownership of the fight against substance abuse and illicit drug trafficking. And since then, every week, we have our commands across the country that are in all the states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory and other special area commands also across the country. They work in partnership with the civil society organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, to take these messages to workplaces, to worship centers, communities, and even motor parks, everywhere, every nook and cranny, to sensitize the people, to let them know the dangers involved in abuse of these illicit substances. And we're glad that indeed that's really making impact. So far, I'll say that in the last 3 years, we've had more than 6,000 of such sensitization activities in schools, in worship places, in communities, markets, motor parks, and all of those places. More than 6,000, I think precisely 6,432 of such activities in the last 3 years. That's huge. That's a lot. And so with this, we're also fostering partnership with the local communities so that everybody can be on board. That is the area of prevention, sensitizing the people so that they can know the dangers of getting involved in this and thereby preventing them from going into it. And for those that are already into this, now the agency has also gone further. That is, those that are already struggling with substance abuse, either at the level of experimentation of those already depending on this. We also have treatment and counseling centers, 30 of that in our commands across the country. We have 3 new model ones coming up before the end of the year, in addition to the already existing 30, where people can walk in and get support and get psychosocial services, get counseling, get treatment. We do this every day. We have quite, and so far we've had, in the last 3 years, more than 33,000 persons, excuse me, have also gone through these treatment centers across the country in the last 3 years. In addition to that, and when these people go through, we also try to follow up to ensure that they are properly reintegrated back into their families, into their communities, because there are quite a lot of factors responsible for them going into this ab initio. So we'll try to see how we can address some of those issues with their families and with the host community. So all of these are handled at that level.
All right.
And for those who may be afraid of, okay.
Thank you for that. Well, you've mentioned a lot of things, the advocacy, awareness, and also rehabilitation of the NDLEA, which are actually good, factors to consider in tackling the drug, crime in Nigeria. But let's talk about some of these dealers and how well they have really evolved. Well, we've seen videos, and for one of the videos even playing on the screen is showing a hair cream. We had a video also, showing also sanitary pads. This shows that while the NDLEA as a government structure is evolving, these dealers are also evolving and finding better ways or new ways to, move these items even beyond our borders. So in terms of, the gender involvement, I would like to understand that.
Yeah, what you have seen simply is the result of their frustration and at the same time their desperation. Frustration in the sense that they've tried every nook and cranny. They've tried everything. The seaports are blocked. The airports are blocked. The land borders they've turned to. We've established presence in all of those places. I'll tell you categorically, and I think I can, with all sense of humility, boast of this, that indeed the NDLEA of today, the modern NDLEA, has indeed transformed to, an agency globally recognized, globally respected, with 100% intelligence-led operations and with a lot of capacity and capability. And as a result of this, we're making things very difficult for them. And so, out of that frustration and desperation, they have to go to some of these things that you've seen. Just like the one you just spoke about, that's getting these illicit substances into sanitary pads and even hair cream. And to add to that, they're not just taking this by themselves. They're trying to package them and take them through courier companies. Unfortunately for them, they do also know that we're very much present there because we walk ahead of them. We're steps ahead of them. So we always anticipate where they want to turn to. If we block this place, they want to turn to this. And so because we work with a lot of intelligence and with a lot of technology, with great professionals, men, officers and men who are well trained globally. So all of these things we anticipate, and we're able to make sure we continue to squeeze the space for them until they really have no place to turn to. And that's why you can see in the last 3 years, we had more than 52,000 arrests. That's probably one of the highest anywhere in the world. With apart from that, again, we also had more than 9,000, specifically 9,034 persons properly prosecuted and convicted 78 times. That's also one of the, probably, if not the highest, one of the highest anywhere in the world. So this is the kind of things we're doing to ensure that we keep our communities, our country safe from this element, so that they don't have anywhere, any means to move in drugs or even take drugs out. Let me also inform you that indeed, as a result of the activities of the agency, now they try to avoid from the intelligence we gather, from all of the information we gather, both locally and internationally. We know that they are now afraid of coming directly to into our country because of the activities of the NDLEA. And so they try to establish their footholds in some neighboring countries, through which they then want to be smuggle these things in bits, in 10s, 20s, 30s, 1,000 and so. And so we already got wind of this, and that's why you would have seen also of recent, we've been making arrests at our land borders where when they are trying to come in or when they are trying to take these things out. So we're very much on top of this, and we're squeezing the space for them.
Absolutely.